Welcome to the 10th segment of the GPS Roadmaps to Success education series, Rest Stops. Time flies, doesn't it? It seems like just a month ago we were announcing our first segment, and here we are at number 10. Our presenters have shared such impactful insights and are a source of inspiration. Great! Thanks again to each and every one of them. As we progress on our own, often fast-paced journey, is important that we take the time for a rest stop to relax, recharge, and re-engage, which is what this segment is all about. Dr. Debbie Thompson, also known as the Energy Doctor, is going to share with us some very significant insights about rest stops. Dr. Debbie has worked with thousands of patients since 1993. She practices in Peoria, Arizona, as a chiropractor and lifetime wellness educator. She completed her undergraduate studies at Colorado State University and University of Colorado. She graduated with a doctorate of chiropractic and Bachelor of Science in Human Biology from Western States Chiropractic College in Portland, Oregon. Personally and within her own practice, she focuses on simple, gentle ways for assisting your body to heal far beyond what you thought was possible. And she passionately shares the simplicity of what she has learned through her clinical and own life experiences. It's time to gather the segment handouts you have printed. Sit down in a quiet space with paper and pen in hand and be open to what Dr. Debbie is about to share with us. Ladies, I give you Dr. Debbie Thompson.
Thank you, Debbie. I'm so happy to have this opportunity to share with all of the GPS members techniques that have made such a huge difference not only in my life, but in the lives of many of my patients. In today's very fast-paced world, our times to relax and take those rest stops can sometimes be few and far between. We have to consciously choose to do something to change that for ourselves. Giving your body a break to unwind and relax it's critical for great health, well-being, and happiness. In this segment, I will share with you 3 of my favorite tools for unwinding and relaxing. A special meditation you can use every day, a way to download the noise out of your brain, and Katsugen, which is a Japanese healing movement. My chiropractic career began in 1994 in Seattle, Washington. Being a new business owner, building a new practice was stressful, to say the least. I was wound up with anxiety all of the time. At that moment, slowing down to relax looked like total exhaustion on the weekends. I spent the majority of those weekends in bed with a stack of movies, which I usually fell asleep to. In fact, I slept a lot on my weekends. I really didn't know what to do about this miserable, anxious feeling that was running inside of me all of the time. Now, my first attempt for meditation was in 1994. I knew very little about meditation. I shared an office with several other health practitioners who were always talking about meditation and how great it was. At that moment, it seemed more like a fad than anything else to me. I was interested in being very physically active and loved to turn anything into an athletic event, and I wasn't sure how I was going to do that with meditation, so it didn't seem to interest me that much. Okay, so I started to feel a little left out in the office because I was the only one not talking about doing meditation, so I thought I would try it, but not publicly, of course. That was not my MO at that time. I wanted to accomplish this thing called meditation and then let everyone know I, too, was doing meditation. I would wait until everybody left the office, and I attempted to quiet my mind while sitting in one of the regular waiting room chairs. First of all, I couldn't quiet my mind for 5 seconds. I tried over and over again. What I did quite successfully is I fell asleep once my body was sitting still. Each time I attempted to quiet my mind, I would fall asleep, and then I would wake up frustrated, because I couldn't do this thing called meditation. Relaxing. Yeah, right. I made the discovery that I would not fall asleep if I used one of those knee chairs designed to support the low back. So I practiced meditation for almost 2 years before I could sit silently. I worked myself up to 3 hours a couple times a week. Now there was my athletic event. I followed this practice for months and months. After all, my goal was to relax, but I noticed the only time that I relaxed was during my 6 hours of meditation in my apartment. But once I engaged back into life again, my relaxation totally disappeared. I continued to look for something that this very physically active person could relax in a brand new way. Now, the Northwest Library System, which is where I was living in Seattle, was rich and progressive with great information. And that is where I was introduced to Thich Nhat Hanh, a Vietnamese meditation master. I started listening to tape after tape, and what he taught made the most sense to me, and it may make the most sense to you. The meditation he spoke about was being able to, here's my words, do not cookie cutter out brief moments in life to be silent and relaxed. Why not live life, practicing meditation every day as you be in life? I call this daily functional meditation. Now, one of my favorite ways to practice this type of meditation is making stir fry. Now, I get very present to consciously focusing on washing the vegetables, cutting the vegetables, not thinking about anything else. I'm in the now the entire time, and I'm preparing that stir fry. Being in gratitude for all the food items, being present to all the people that made it possible for these vegetables to be here for me, being loving about the nourishment I am putting into my body. Now, I'm going to make a big assumption here. I would bet that most of you do not have this kind of experience while you're cooking your food. It certainly wasn't mine, and now it is. Practicing your stir-fry moments will expand your consciousness in everyday life, and your body and mind will start to relax and unwind more and more and more. Now, another way to practice functional meditation is meditatively taking a shower rather than jumping in the shower and you're in a hurry and you're thinking about what you need to do today and you're hurrying and you're rushing and you're running through your mind all the things you have to do. Okay. That's not meditatively taking a shower. That's not engaging in the moment and being conscious in the now. Bring yourself in the now only and let the past and the future alone. Feel the warmth of the water as it hits your skin. Smell the fragrance of the soap. Relaxation has to do with being present, being in the now. Now, you can also practice this particular kind of meditation when you're doing business and having conversation. You can have conversation meditatively. Use it when you make that business connection. Treat it like you're listening to another human being and listen intently to what they're saying. You're not thinking about the next thing. You're not thinking about, why did they wear that color? You're not saying, I wonder if I'm going to get business out of this. Or thinking and waiting for the perfect moment to give them your business card and tell them about your business. Now, that's not meditatively connecting and communicating. Meditative is listening so intently from one word and sentence to the next, following the lead of the conversation like a dance. By having your conversations meditatively, more relaxation will just show up easily. You are unplugging from anything and everything that's not in this present moment. Unplugging from anything that's not conscious. You make a conscious choice in the moment. That's the key of accessing relaxation whenever and wherever you are in life. So being able to meditatively cook, meditatively eat, meditatively be with people, meditatively work, meditatively walk or run, meditatively swim, meditatively drive. Oh, whoa. That was a scary one for me. The first time I heard Thich Nhat Hanh suggest to meditatively drive, I was thinking, I don't know, that's going a little too far. I didn't know how that could possibly work. But remember how functional meditation throughout your day is being present in the moment. Now, isn't that the ultimate of being responsible behind the wheel of your car? Being present and aware, meditatively noticing the surroundings, the colors, the movements, you will be at the height of your defensive driving. Now, to do your very best functional meditation, you have to consistently download the noise in your head. So I suggest carry a small notebook with you and dedicate it to your to-dos or anything else that needs to be cleared out so you can continue to be in the moment. So no need to be anxious and nervous about remembering something because you have it written down. Set an alarm on your cell phone, in your schedule book. You can write to remind you of certain things. You will automatically relax more knowing that, that everything is handled. And it's handled right now. So there's no need to retrace or rerun those same old thoughts over and over again. The next thing I want to talk to you about is a relaxation tool that I just have to share. And it is based on Morning Pages, which I fondly call the brain dump. Morning Pages is a tool that I learned from a workshop I participated in when I was in Seattle. I based it, actually, it's from a book, and it's called The Artist Way, and her name is Julia Cameron. Each morning when you wake up, write 3 longhand pages of whatever comes up in your mind. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Again, I fondly call this the brain dump. You are cleaning up the garbage or the noise in your mind, and you're making way for all of your goodness. What you need for Morning Pages is you need a note-sized paper. You could use paper this small, but I want you to have note-sized paper. Your favorite pen. I want you to have a private space to write freely and comfortably. No place where somebody's going to be by accident looking over your shoulder, and a shredder because you're going to immediately shred your pages afterwards. Now, your basic ingredients for Morning Pages are you write as quickly as possible. You do not think about or judge what you're writing. You do not worry about being able to read it. When I do Morning Pages, I literally scribble while the thoughts flow. You do not have to be able to read what you wrote. Now, one additional ingredient you can add to Morning Pages is a very special or specific intention for what is bothering you. If you are in chronic pain, write about your pain, your injuries, and your story, about how you got there and how this is getting in your way and how you're just really sick and tired of it. If you have any particular emotion for the day, sadness, anger, depression, feeling left out, feeling like you don't belong, feeling like no one loves or appreciates you, write about whatever the feeling or emotion is. That's using the intention. Now, this is not a journal. This is not something to be kept on your bookshelf. Do not go back and read your Morning Pages. Shred them, tear them, or burn them immediately after completing the 3rd page. Do not judge what you write. I repeat that, but do not judge it. Do not stop yourself from writing the ugliest of things. You're going to shred it anyway. It's just time to clear the noise out of the consciousness so you can be totally present to the all that you are all day long. You will be saying goodbye to life as it has been and opening doorways to your very highest and best. Happy scribbling to all of you. Now, here are several other ideas that will create more relaxation in your life. You've had in the past with some of our educational series about mapping out your day. This is like defining your ideal life, your ideal day, your ideal week, your month. You're going to base that on your particular belief systems and what are important to you. You're going to write out your ideal schedule. You'll make many discoveries about yourself. Perhaps you're doing some things that aren't so ideal. You will notice you're doing that and it doesn't match with your ideal life, and you'll get an opportunity to perhaps make new choices or plan on what's next. This is a great exercise to define where you are right now and the true direction of your intentions. The other point I want to say is be able to say no. Now, it is time to let go of your Wonder Woman attitude. It's like start looking for ways to allow others to support you. Identify things that you are doing for others that they could easily do for themselves. Know when to ask for help. And all of that's just going to really release that extra that extra responsibility that's on your shoulders. My definition for do nothing time. Do nothing time is my next major point. And do nothing time has to do with this. The only definition of that is there's no set rigid schedules. Now, will I do something that day? Absolutely. But everything I do will be done in the moment, whatever I want to do, whoever I want to spend that time with. No time is defined as wasted during that do-nothing time. There is no such thing as useless activities. It's your permission to do anything you want to do, and the word lazy never enters into my mind at any time, but especially in not do-nothing time. It is your time. So you start by scheduling an hour of do-nothing time or an hour each day. My favorite do-nothing time is at least a half a day, and if I'm really successful, I'll do nothing for a complete day. Next major point I really want you to do that will help you with this rest stop is maximizing your energetic system. Keep your energy clear of noise. Now, I define noise as anything that is not in your highest and best, physically, emotionally, mentally, and non-physically. From a chiropractic perspective, it's much easier to relax when your nervous system works and it's clear and strong. As the energy doctor, I help people clear their emotional and mental noise. Each of us has known many times when our emotions are busy, our busy minds will just not give us a break. Now, in these moments, it is difficult to have a relaxed mind, heart, and body, but it's important to keep that energetic system clear. Now, the final tool I will teach you for unwinding and relaxing is Katsugen. Katsugen was developed by a Japanese healer. Katsugen consists of movements that arise from spontaneously moving your body from within yourself. So you're simply allowing your body to move in any way at once with the understanding that the body-mind system knows what it needs for self-correction, balancing, and alignment. Katsugen will access the vital energy in your body, which supports your health, well-being, vitality, and your happiness. This movement will also encourage the release of tension and thus blockages throughout your body. Now, do not be alarmed if your body starts to detox in some way after doing Katsugen. When the tension of the muscles start to let down, they will dump toxins, and that they may have been trapped there for a long time. So just don't be alarmed, drink lots of water, and you'll be able to support yourself really well with that. What I want to do now is I want to describe to you how to do Katsugen. You want to allow yourself to stand and relax completely. Katsugen can be done at any age. It is safe, and you don't have to have any previous training. I like playing with some of my favorite music in the background, and I like to change the music to encourage different types of movement. It's interesting when that happens, the body will move differently. For me, music seems to cue the movement in whatever way my body wants. So Katsugen is not about creating your dance moves. It's not about using those favorite dance moves. It's allow the movement to come from the deepest part of you. And that deepest part of you, as you relax your body, will automatically move. It'll bring you into balance and harmony, and especially if you choose to consciously do that. Now, you can do Katsugen in a few minutes. The length of song is perfect, or over a period of 30 minutes or more. It may take more conditioning to do the longer periods of time. I mean, you might get a little sore if you just all of a sudden did 30 minutes of Katsugen. You will feel a natural ending to your movements. Just follow your feelings on the inside. Now, at first, you may find it a little challenging to feel the movement naturally. It's like, know that it's probably because there's a lot of built-up tension inside. You may be someone like me who has spent most of your life, most of my life, making things happen. You do not make Katsugen happen. You will be allowing Katsugen to happen. So start by waking your body up, just do some long stretches. And this is nothing very technical. It's like, be like a cat and stretch the way it feels good to you. Okay, we are ready to do Katsugen. Just to remind you, Katsugen can be done at any age. I actually spent some time with a mother and a 2-year-old, and it's really great for having them unwind all of that energy that they seem to build up ever so effectively. If you need to be reminded of the great tools you just learned, just know that you can refer to your detailed handout. You can keep that as a reminder. Get ready to relax your mind, your heart, your body. Using this as a rest stop, expect the miraculous as you access the all that you are. It's been a pleasure sharing this special time with you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Debbie. This has been not only relaxing, but very enlightening and empowering. I could certainly relate to what you were saying about the mind chatter and how important it is to get it in check. I do have a couple of questions for you now. Katsugen is a new concept for me. I would say that can you explain a little bit how someone that can embrace this new concept and make it work for them and realize the healing powers of it?
Well, the most important part to anything in life is you repeat and rinse, and you repeat and rinse, you practice. The first time you do Katsugen, it might feel a little awkward, it might feel a little unnatural, but again, that's because that tension is built up. The part of which we each have our favorite music, and with that music, it will instigate new movement. So just keep having those moments and allowing yourself to move that natural way. And if you have to do do your favorite dance movements, do it. Just get yourself dancing. I think that's the most important piece. Just start dancing.
Well, both today and when we practiced this earlier, I felt very comfortable in doing the movements. I felt like I was just really into the moment, and you were a huge part of that because I felt your peace and comfort, and it translated into me. I know I feel very good that I can do it myself. But I do catch myself not being completely in the moment from time to time. What was your biggest challenge for learning to live in the now, and how did you overcome it?
Again, it was time. It was practice. There's one thing I get from my mother, and she's very persistent, she's very determined, and that showed up when I wanted to accomplish this thing called meditation, and Katsugen would be the same way. It's like to allow my body to move naturally. I got really clear my body wasn't moving naturally, that I was almost like something was going on that was running it. Yeah, it's kind of robotic, kind of running it. And so just never give up on yourself. Just keep doing it. Do what feels good. And don't worry about judging or being technical about it. It will come to you. You'll have your own movement. Ask a friend to share it with you or share it with a child. A child will teach you faster than anybody else.
There's nothing more connecting than to touch someone when you're going through that process, and I felt very connected to you.
It is very powerful that way.
My noise is something I think each of us deals with this nonstop. What is your favorite, most effective technique for quieting mind chatter?
Well, I've talked about morning pages, and morning pages can seem rather simple. But my mother, at the time I introduced her to morning pages, she had a pretty significant thought running through her mind, and she's done a lot of life review and that, and so I taught her how to do morning pages, and 4 days later, she was like a different woman.
Amazing.
And so for me, without having somebody have to pay for a service or do something out of the ordinary or take a moment of time, and remember cookie cuttering out a moment of time, it's just do those morning pages. They may seem very simplistic, but they are so powerful, and do them for at least a week. And what I like to tell my chronic pain patients to do it for 30 days straight. And you will see things and you will experience things that you can't even imagine right now.
That's a profound change that you can make to your life with just something simple like that.
Yes.
What books do you recommend, or if you have any favorites about relaxation or meditation that you can recommend to our girls?
My favorite reading, which I love to read, but most of my reading is done via Mr. and Mrs. Google these days. So I find such great information there. And so I take the information I'm looking for. You'll notice that for meditation, there is all kinds of meditation. But what I can share with you is this. My favorite meditation to do initially is called guided imagery. And so it's like they tell a story, and some of my favorites were the ones with the castles and the unicorns and it's what I liked. And so find what works for you, and a good audio will give you a sample. Like I give samples of what my audios are like for people, and you want to hear what it's like before you purchase it. But it's just another way of guiding yourself in slowly, so you don't all of a sudden think, like I thought, is I have to get my mind to go silent.
Exactly. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Debbie.
You're so welcome.
Your insights are amazing. So many of our wonderful members have really, really tapped into the power and promise of Dr. Debbie, and it's not just what she does, it's who she is, and we all totally believe in it, buy into it, love it, and we love her. So our next segment is called Travelers You Will Meet Along the Way. It's going to be a bit different in a very fun way. I will be interviewing 3 GPS members who have had interesting and inspirational stories to share with us about their transitions from one part of their lives to another. The first one is Eva Obregon. She had some challenges when she lived in California. She was ready to make transitions in her life because of those challenges. So she moved from California to Arizona, and she went from working in a doctor's office to opening her own financial planning agency. During that process, she overcome many obstacles, and she is helping others to do the same. Jana Craven has embraced her passion for cooking and has a new catering business, all the while beginning a new family and learning to balance all aspects of her life. She will share about her baby steps, her missteps, her struggles, and her successes, and as she launches this new business. And then Jamie Lau is a woman in charge of marketing for a team of doctors. How does she find her own identity and purpose in both the corporate and small business world? She will tell all about that in her fun and fascinating way. That's what's in store next. I know I can't wait to do it, and I want you to be sure and join us for that segment.